Good morning.
Hi there, Mabel. How are you?
You're sitting in the dark a little bit.
Oh no, I'm not in the dark, but maybe I have to change a little bit into
Yes,
the.
it would be lovely if people also can see your face.
Oh yeah, but the light has to switch and maybe a little bit more
Yeah,
like that. How is this? Like that?
a little bit better.
Okay. How are
Yeah.
you?
Okay, I made you a lovely introduction.
Oh really?
Yes. Welcome to the Conscious Business Podcast, where we
Right.
explore the intersection of authentic leadership, meaningful communication, and future-ready organizations.
Mhm.
Today, I'm thrilled to speak with René Boender, an international speaker, Gen Z expert, and creative strategist who also has worked with global brands like Apple, Coca-Cola, and Disney. And
Right.
today, we also be discussing René's latest book, Verrast, Veranderd, Veroverd, Surprise, Changes, and Conquers, co-authored with Dr. Jos Ehlers. Is, did I pronounce that well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Alice.
published in September 2025. This is a revised and expanded edition, and it's described by the authors as their greatest hits album. And I had so much fun reading it.
That's nice
I
to
had
hear.
so much fun. Yeah, I thought it would be a very dry book, but I think it's lovely.
Now, Mabel, if you write, you have to write as you talk. So when you read it, you have to hear a voice. And the,
Yes.
the biggest asset that we have is that Jos and I are working so close together that it is one sound, one cell, and that it really feels, and we call it the mouth of the paper. So you hear me talk all the time, and instead of, boring data,
Yeah.
it gives you energy,
Yeah.
and also be surprised that the future is a lot better than we all expect right now.
Yeah, but it's so interesting. So I even think it's a mainstream book.
It is, it is.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I was in the US last week, and what we saw right now is that a lot of students take it as a kind of their Bible to see where the future is all about because they have a lot of nitty-gritty going on that people are saying you are so lazy and whatever. They are not lazy.
No.
They're very positive, optimist, and they are open to do what needs to be done. And instead of the millennials
Yeah.
who were always dreamers, they are doing it,
Yeah.
and they make the best out of life as it is going on right now.
Can you take me back to the beginning? Because when did you start with Generation C?
Now, as a matter of fact, it's already 15 years ago because I saw students on the universities and they behave different than the former students. And we were asking ourselves, why is it? And what you have to understand, it is what you put into a person is also giving back to you, let's say 10 or 15 years later. The formative years are so important. So then we decided to study them and follow them throughout their career. So the first ones that we followed, uh,
I want to stop you because I want to know about your formative years. What did you do
my
before
formative years.
what did you do before you are writing these kinds of wonderful books?
Oh, I was just an copywriter on an international advertising agency, and I found out that if you want to sell your copy, you have to bring it into the broader picture, and that is also what my bosses saw. So I was most of the time asked to do the new business pitches and write the punchlines or the taglines or the payoffs of several things. So when I started at McCann Erickson, I was pretty good in lyrics.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I did was when I came along, and you as well, the payoff of Coca-Cola was "Can't Beat It,"
Yeah.
and there had to be there was the birth of a new campaign. So I write the lyrics: "Can't beat it. The feeling you get from a Coca-Cola can't beat the real thing." That was the campaign before "Beat It."
Yeah.
Can't beat the feeling. So I also captured everything into one
Yeah.
snowball and brought it throughout the world. And the Americans, especially Roberto Consueta, the boss of Coca-Cola in that days, they really liked it. And then they said, "Hey, come along, please join us and tell it throughout the world." And that is how my adventure started.
It's a beautiful and a brilliant phrase.
As a matter of fact, it is.
Yeah,
And some people sometimes ask, but René, in 85 or in 88, what was your key driver? And I still can recall it because I was in Africa and I saw a very nice young boy on a Friday, and he was running to a booth and bought himself a Coca-Cola for 5 cents. He
yeah,
drank it and he felt very lucky at that
yeah,
moment.
yeah,
And as a matter of fact, that gave me wings. And that phrase, I used it throughout the rest of my career. And then the rest is history. So
yeah.
Levi's came along and all the other accounts. And then that's how I fell in love with advertising.
Yeah, I am in love with advertising, especially long copy. And but now it's more obvious to me why it's such a good book.
The reason why it is a good book, and thank you for the compliment, is because it's the truth well told.
Yeah,
It's not an opinion,
no.
it is really the truth. And the truth is at a certain moment what you can learn at that specific moment.
Yeah,
Because what you really have to understand, especially in this period, is everything is a lie. Everything.
yeah,
The only thing that is the truth is the transaction if you pay something.
yeah.
That is what I know 100% sure.
So
Money
you
goes from my
say
account to your account.
only money is the truth.
Only the transaction.
Yes.
But I am very interested in the transition.
Yeah,
What did they do before there was a transaction?
yeah,
And if you understand that path and
yeah,
how people think about it, then you have them, and you can really become a better marketer than others. It is outthink the competition instead of outspend the competition. And that is what more or less is the truth.
yeah. And your book is also well researched and with a lot of fun facts, and it's broadening my horizon a lot.
I thank you, but it's not only Jos and myself.
No.
Also on Stanford University, working together
Yeah.
with youngsters, sitting down on the forefront of the university, eating pizzas with them, and they say to you, "From hey, come on, I will show you how it works." And
I
I
will
tell,
show in my world. Yeah.
yeah, they brought me into the world. And the funny thing is, although I'm really already a little bit older than
What's your age?
I'm now 67.
Oh, really?
But but when I'm there, they
Yeah.
see me as one of them
Yeah.
because and age is just a number, but your energy
Yeah.
brings you into the bracket of the age groups, and I can still get along with the Gen Zs, but also with Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
That is because of the energy,
Yeah.
and energy brings you together. It's not age; it is energy.
Are you still a child by heart?
Ah, yes, more or less. But I became mature by everything that I learned throughout my life,
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah.
You learn a lot throughout your life,
Yeah.
and but in the end, if you hit me, then I've had punches before, so this was nothing. So I get positive energy out of the momentum, and that is also what I try to preach towards Gen Zs around the globe, because that is the good news. Gen Z, if you're here in the Netherlands or in America or in Canada or in the Ukraine or in Russia or in Nigeria, South Africa, they're all more or less the same. It's the first time that we all have the same tools
And the
and the
same
same effort
playground. Yeah, the
and
same
the same
playground.
playground. So they really look alike throughout the world. So that is the reason why Gen Z is taking over the world, and they do it with the speed of light.
Yeah. Later, more about that. You work with some of the world's most recognizable brands. What is the single biggest misconception about organizations they have about Gen Z?
Well, first of all, they are preoccupied in their opinion,
Yeah,
most of them, and then when they are a little bit older. After the presentation, Gen Z longing for change, that's my previous presentation. Longing for change, by the way, comes from the record A Star is Born. because a long time ago I was giving a presentation for PepsiCo in Madison Square Garden in New York, and Lady Gaga was there.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
when she was on the piano, there is a phrase in, "Hey boy, are you longing for change?"
Yeah.
So I went towards her and I said, "Hey, listen, can I ask you something? Do you allow me to use the phrase Gen Z longing for change?" And she said, "Oh yes, you are, on
Oh,
the one condition that I can write the prologue for you." So in the US edition, and that helps a lot, by the way.
yeah, it really
But
does.
anyway, verlangen naar verandering is it in Dutch.
Yeah.
And that is what they want. They want to change
Yeah.
what we have messed up, because we messed up.
Yeah.
We did a lot wrong right now. And although a lot of people think now that sustainable and heating of the world and that kind of stuff is a little bit behind, but it's the Trump effect of this time. But I believe in 3 years' time, they will fix whatever we messed up again. So they are,
Because they're a very optimistic
yes,
generation. Yeah.
yes, they are very optimistic, and the reason why is because they are willing to change, and not only that, they are also willing to press the fast forward
Yeah.
and try to explore what can be, because you can change the past,
Yeah.
but you can do it now to have a better future.
Yeah.
And they live in the now. And we, most of the millennials and baby boomers and Generation X, we always say we are our work.
Yeah.
We have our image throughout our work.
Yeah.
For Gen Z, they do the work
Yeah.
and they have the rest of their identity from other stuff
Yeah.
in their life. So they have a far better work balance. And this is not the
Yeah.
67 that I do, but the work balance between work and the real life that you want to live.
They're very adaptable.
Oh yes, and that is also the reason why they are so open for AI.
Yeah.
Because why should you do something if something can do it for you?
Yeah.
When we were young, we had an encyclopedie and the Winkler Prince or the geïllustreerde pers, and we were looking for stuff in a book that is 20 years old. So the things that were in there was 20 years old. When they are looking right now, it's now what is known to
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
So they are better occupied to create a better future.
Yeah. Great. Your book with Joss emphasized that Gen Z is fundamentally different. Can you explain the key behavioral science principle that distinguish them from the previous generations?
Yes, they are adaptive towards the future
Yeah.
and not defending the past. And
Okay.
what you saw with the millennials for more or less in general, they were dreamers,
Yeah.
and they were dreaming and daydreaming, but they were not doing.
Yeah.
Gen Z are not dreamers, they are doers. They do what needs to be done at this specific moment because they want to have also a better life like you had,
Yeah.
but without neglecting the past. They are doing it with an open, let's say, open their eyes towards the future and see where they end up. As a matter of fact, if they are in a plane, they just jump and they find out along the way if they have a parachute or not, but they jump.
Yeah.
That is a fundamental change between the different generations. They just do it.
It's also my correct character trait.
Oh, absolutely.
First jumping and
Yeah, absolutely. And you know something, and all the progress that we are making, when we were young, and I was a kid, and I wasn't allowed to look at the TV for longer than 3 hours because you will get square eyes.
yeah.
I have no square eyes.
No.
If you were pregnant and you were sitting in a train in the 50s, even in the 50s,
Yeah.
they said don't sit longer in the train longer than an hour because that is not good for your baby.
Yeah.
We're now traveling with the speed of light.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
No.
So we have to be more open for all the progress that we are making and opening up to do and like the momentum that you're in. We forget to like the momentum that we're in.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's boxed in. Or everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as Deepa Oid said, forget the box. There is no box.
Yeah.
Live.
You already mentioned it very briefly. Gen Z grew up with information overload and fake news. How
Yeah.
has this shaped their relationship with trust and authenticity in business?
Well, first of all, they have a bullshit filter.
Okay.
And a bullshit filter means, and then I have to explain how they are working, what I showed to you, what the MIT, the university, found out. When somebody is listening, reading, or watching a video, the first 3 seconds of the contact are instrumental. That is called the primarily effective reaction,
Yeah.
the PAR.
Yeah.
After 3 seconds, there is 12 seconds, and then your rational inner voice takes over and checks your initial emotional 3
Response.
seconds,
Yeah. Yeah.
the 3 and the 12. And then you go into the arena of the eternity, but the eternity doesn't exist.
No.
The eternity is as long as you give energy, they stay along.
Yeah.
So 3, 12, energy, primarily effective reaction, secondary effective reaction, and energy. And the energy is the spirit.
Yeah.
If they feel the spirit, the SQ of the contact, they stick around and tend to believe it.
Okay.
But there is a rational check and there is always an emotional feeling.
Yeah.
And if they found out that it is bullshit, they turn around and they get further. The biggest problem of this is, what if we miss, let's say, the real truth in channels like Instagram, TikTok, or in the Chinese variant of it, and that kind of stuff. And that is the reason why we, Jos and I, are really open, let's say, to the government. Listen, there has to be one channel that is the truth well told, where journalism check and counter check. That is what needs to, and the open channels will always be that.
Yeah.
And you know, when we were young, and there was always one of my neighbors was standing at the butcher, and she was always telling the gossip.
Yeah.
Gossip will always stay around.
Yeah.
Only gossip is now
About Meghan Markle.
absolutely, absolutely. The gossip will still be there, but your bullshit radar will take over. And because of the Gen Z generation that is really open to adapt into the future, they know when it's bullshit and they know what is truth.
Yeah.
What is the truth?
Yeah.
And
So
you see what's going on right now in America. You see for the first time that the Trump administration is lacking the truth. And the reason why is not because the boomers are Generation X. It is Generation Z who have a lack of trust because he didn't come through what he promised.
Yeah. And now you can see the shift in New York with the new mayor who has an Islam belief.
Yeah.
So everything's changing over there.
But you saw it also with the mayor, the guy who said it's an absolute crook, and then they were standing next to each other in the White House, and I couldn't believe my ears. Then you have to say you're a crook.
Yeah. Is it Medini? Is his name Medini?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So but you know, but what we found out throughout the process with Gen Z, there are 4 types of communication with them. That is the promoter, buy me, buy me. The second one is the poet.
Yeah.
But the poet is only in 3% of all the cases what they like to hear. Then there is the professor, is only 3%. The promoter is 20%. So 26% is covered by promoter, poet, and professor.
Yeah.
The 76% is done by the performer. And the performer is tell me what you do, show me what you do, and I'll decide if I'll buy you or not. And that is based on, let's say, the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain.
Yeah.
On the left side of the brain, there is a rational part of it. On the right side of the brain, there is your emotional filter. And that is where decisions are taken in the first 3 seconds. Because, Mabel, you have to understand, more than 6,000 signals per day coming towards you.
Yeah.
And you can only absorb 75.
Yeah.
So your bullshit filter, your emotion, has to play a wonderful role to get to cut
I,
through the bullshit.
yeah, but you mean intuition, not your emotion, your intuition. Yeah.
Intuition is knowledge in a hurry,
Yeah.
and knowledge in a hurry is one of the
I
things.
thought that was the nicest phrase of the book.
Oh, really? But when you are in a jungle,
Yeah.
and you see a lion, we run.
Yeah.
You don't wait.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your intuition, your inner voice is the best voice that you have.
Yeah.
And some of the generations, when they had the foie gras learning on the schools, all the
Yeah.
creativity was taken out.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you see with Gen Z that all the creativity is allowed to spread it. And that is the reason why we are so hopeful for the future, because they find ways that we haven't seen yet.
Yes. I can imagine that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I also feel that it's a very um, trustworthy generation because they also respect all the other cultures.
as a matter of fact, because they're all the same. It's a flat organization how
Yeah.
we build our networks nowadays.
Yeah.
So, and that is, by the way, also for most bosses around, because on
A
Facebook
shock.
and Instagram we're all equal.
Yeah.
But you come in a hierarchy on the level, and hey, on Facebook we're the same, but all over suddenly I'm totally different towards you. That's not true. So
No.
what we have to do is be more open and show they have respect if you
Yeah.
show respect, and the other way around.
Yeah. I think that for a lot of managers is also it's they have to be adaptable, they have to be learning, they have to replace the ego for trust and respect. I think that can be difficult for a whole older generation.
It can be, but they have to, because
Yeah.
you know what we have right now. There is we need a working generation, and a working generation. Some of the people say they are lazy. They're not lazy
No.
because they work more than ever before. Do you realize in the Netherlands that most students on MBO or on HBO and on university work more than 18 hours per week? When they are going into the working process, most of them work 4 days a week, but in
Yeah.
the 4 days,
Yeah.
40 hours. But
Really? Yeah.
they also have a second job because they think that having one job is boring.
Yes.
If you have two,
Yeah.
it's more exciting
Yeah.
because you can be a yoga teacher
Yeah.
and you can have and
Yeah.
work on an office. You can work in a restaurant together with working at a bank, because that gives your life more reason to resonate and also to have a more fulfillment in your life.
Do you think that corporate organization would be wise if they change a job description to a project description?
I think so. I think so. One of the best examples that I have is Lely in Maasluis. They are creating milking robots to
Hmm.
make to give farmers a better life and the cows as well.
Yeah.
But they say this is the job that needs to be done.
Yeah.
It has to be ready by next Thursday. Have fun. And they don't care
Yeah.
if you do it at night
Yeah.
or during the day
Yeah.
or whatever. There's only one condition: the job needs to be done on the deadline,
Yeah.
because there is no life after the deadline.
Yeah.
And wherever you do it,
Yeah.
and you have to do it in a project organization. So you have to make sure that Mabel and René are working on the Astronaut 5, and that we have regular meetings to discuss it with each
Yeah.
other. And you can call me in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
At least you can at
Yeah.
3 o'clock if I'm also a night worker.
Yeah.
And sometimes that works.
Yeah.
So I think that instead of office hours, I think that you to product descriptions would be a better
Yeah.
alternative than having the normal 9 to 5 mentality.
Yeah. Because uh, they have a lot of problems to recruit the right people at this moment.
Yes, and the reason why is because they think that they are going into the past instead of into the future. And what you have to do is show the future, not what you did in the past.
No.
And that is a big difference.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. So I can say take a look at Lely and see how they recruit.
Yeah.
That's the new way. If you see it, if you see they don't have a factory, they have a campus.
Oh,
There
really?
are,
Yeah.
yes, they have paddle fields there. There's whatever.
Yeah,
There's
like Google
brilliant
did.
catering.
Yeah.
All the things
Yeah.
that make your working life a little bit better. And as a matter of fact, Gen Z loves to go more to the office than to stay around because the social component of our work
Yeah.
is eyeball to eyeball, knee to knee.
Yeah.
That is what they found out. Because don't forget the Corona period. The
Yeah.
Corona period made them lonely.
Yeah.
And there is a hiatus in their years that were formative to become a more social, let's say, entrepreneur in the work life.
Yeah.
So they are now making up and finding the social context more important than other contexts.
Okay.
So that's hopeful.
Yeah.
Hopeful.
Um, what are brain candies?
Yeah. What are brain candies?
Yeah.
Brain candies are little, let's say, sweets for your head that within 3 seconds you say, "Hey, that is what I love to hear. That is what to recall. That is what I like to bring out." So brain candy is, for instance, knowledge in a hurry,
Okay.
or
Or the three
uh,
seconds with the 12 seconds.
the 312, or
Yeah.
they tell them what they need well before they realize it themselves. That is something from Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Or accept who you are unless you're a serial killer.
Yeah.
You see, that's a
Yeah.
brain candy.
Yeah.
Without empathy, a person is emotionally deaf, tone deaf.
Yeah.
That is a brain candy.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that is what we need more. So the future will be driven by brain candies, by the performers and the brain candies. And the reason why, because when we were young, we were reading a newspaper
Yeah.
and we were taking approximately an hour.
Yeah.
Now they're looking at the newspaper and they look at the visuals and they read the headings.
Yeah.
So you don't read a
No,
newspaper anymore.
they scroll it. Yeah.
You read TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook
Yeah.
with the brain candies. And if a brain candy appeals to you, then you go into the vertical 12 seconds
Yeah.
to go further before you go to eternity. And
Yeah.
the reason why is
Yeah.
because we don't have the time in our
No.
24-hour day to do it. But absolutely, Einstein and Darwin and Jobs, we all have the same amount of time.
Yeah.
But we didn't invent extra time. So
No.
we have to do it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And you and I already sleep less. Huh? The
Yes,
average
I
sleep
know.
is right now 6 hours and
Yeah.
I believe 47 minutes.
That's
When I
right.
was a kid, it was 8 hours and 42 minutes. So we already grabbing time,
Yeah.
stealing time from our sleep to do what we like to do.
I start at 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, because and that, by the way, that's the best time to be awake because my book I always start at a 5:15 to write till 6:30
Yeah.
because nobody
No.
is disturbing me. I
Yeah.
don't have phone calls. I
Yeah.
have nothing, so I can type
Yeah.
like a madman.
And it feels like wealth to have all the time in the world for yourself.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Um,
there's a lot of hope, Mabel. I think that Gen Z will fix a lot for us.
yeah, I hope so.
No, for sure.
For
They have
sure.
to. They
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
else they will end up in a total mess. And
Yeah.
what they hate is chaos. They hate chaos.
Yeah.
They want to have a better life than we had.
Yeah.
At least they want to have a life, and
Yeah.
probably as good as we have.
Yeah. I don't want to talk politics, but that's something that has to change also then.
Now, what you will see is when youngsters are coming in the parliament and they will get there, then they will see the opportunity to change what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And for instance, it's now very, let's say, discussable what's happening right now in the Netherlands in the
Really?
politics,
Really?
but also in the US
Yes.
because it is crazy what we're doing right now. It
Yeah.
is crazy. There are
Outrageous. Yeah.
there are three men in the world who are now dictating the world.
Yes.
Putin and Trump.
Yeah.
And the rest, we are, I don't know. I don't know where we end up.
Yeah. It has to change.
And they will change it
Yeah.
because they are going to do it. Because, for instance, in France, it is unbelievable that you can go on pension with 55 years. Then they're crazy.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
When you work at the railways, you go with 52. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't afford that. Yeah, you
No.
can do that when there are only a few people around. But when there are so much people as there are right now, you can't afford it.
No.
And the new, let's say, conscious capitalism, that is the system that they want to achieve and they want to reform. Conscious capitalism.
Yeah.
Just you do it with your mind
Yeah.
and with moral.
That's also my proposition, conscious business.
Yeah. Now, conscious capitalism is the
Yeah.
new political stream that will go throughout the world. 100%
Okay.
sure.
So, okay. You describe yourself as a brain agent rather than just a speaker. What does that mean and how does it influence your approach to helping organizations?
You know, there is no absolute wisdom. The only thing that I know is what I learned from you. That is what I learned from all the students that I learned online. So every day I become a little bit better than I was yesterday.
Yeah. So you're curious.
Absolutely. And you know, curiosity is one of the best assets that you have. So I want to find out. And for instance, I was at an NVIDIA presentation 4 weeks ago, and I had to tell about Gen Z longing for change, how they take a look
Yeah.
about AI and what they want to achieve. I thought, what can people at NVIDIA teach me about the future?
Yeah.
It was the other way around.
You reversed it. Yeah.
I could teach them how Gen Z will adapt their technology and bring it into the momentum that is necessary. That is the other way around. But the problem, Mabel, at this moment is there are too many people that know a lot about a very tiny vertical line.
Yeah.
There are only a few people that know a bit of the general lines
Yeah.
that are all around.
Yeah.
And the reason why a brain agent is active right now, he learns a lot from all the people and he brings what I learned from you
Yeah.
towards the other and from the other
Yeah.
towards the other. So that broadens your perspective and gives a lot of energy and also enthusiasm
Yeah.
and most of all compassion
Yeah.
for what needs to be done. And that is called the EEC rule. Energy, enthusiasm, and compassion.
Yeah.
If you have EEC in your DNA, you have the key to the future.
Okay.
Energy, enthusiasm, and compassion.
Okay.
So if you have that, the rest is all bullshit.
Yeah.
The rest is all what I can find on computers. It is what you do with it.
Yeah.
Data are stupid zeros and ones.
Yeah.
And if I give wings to the data, 2% to the left or 2% to the right,
Yeah.
then it makes contact. So a brain agent is more or less someone who tells the future is there.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah.
But the future is there. It can be 2% to the left or 2%
Yeah.
to the right. But please let's go.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Because the future doesn't wait. Because the clock is ticking.
Yeah. Clear.
Yeah.
In your experience working globally from Cape Town to Dubai, are there universal truths about Gen Z? Does culture shape their values or expectation, or you say no, it's just one playing field?
It is one playing field. There are only two, now maybe two exceptions in the rule of the worldwide Gen Z rule, and that is North Korea.
Okay.
Because they are not into having all the tools they have.
They don't. They want to play. They don't want to play with us.
True, and a part of China.
Yeah.
But what I was surprised how the Gen Zs in China are also going up and down with all the new technologies because we say don't play around and don't train yourself in AI. They say train yourself in AI and have fun. Yeah. So they get better and better, and we are afraid and afraid and afraid. Yeah. So that is, but to answer your question, Gen Z are more alike than any other generation before. And that is because we all have the same tools and the same access.
Yesterday I saw a YouTube of Mark Manson, and he said he asked ChatGPT how he can soulfully live his life, and it was such a nice broadcast. Yes,
I believe.
you have to see it.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Many leaders struggle with the concept of authentic communication. How do you help organizations move beyond buzzwords and generally be authentic?
That is, especially when I see that with CEOs, I help them to say, why do you only tell me that? And didn't I broadcast it right now into your organization? So a lot of the CEOs or CMOs or CIOs, whatever they're called, I help them to become a broadcaster
Okay.
and the broadcaster of your message, and not in writing,
Yeah.
but in talking.
Yeah.
And for some of the people, I made the 7 minutes, because if you are having 7 minutes, then I can tell you everything about the future or what we did last week
Yeah.
and why we did it. But don't do it in writing. Do it in talking, in a podcast format, or you do it in a podcast. I don't care. But
Short copy. Short copy.
only short, and keep it short and simple.
Yeah.
And keep it short and simple, because when we were coming into the marketeers arena, it was keep it stupid simple.
Yeah.
But nobody is stupid anymore.
No.
Keep it smart and simple. So make yourself KISS proof. KISS is keep it smart and simple.
Yeah.
And if you keep it smart and simple, you're open
Yeah.
and you bring it towards them, then
Yeah.
people will listen to you and know why you're going from A to B. And that is the let's say the fundamental thing that I changed in the behavior of CEOs: more openness and more, let's say, honesty about the now.
And it's much more complicated to hide a lie if it's smart and simple.
Absolutely. You have to do it. For instance, let's go back to Steve Jobs in 2007.
Yeah.
And when he came, he was standing there, and everybody was watching him when he came with the iPhone.
Yeah.
Everybody was watching him.
Yeah.
And he said, it's your music library, and you can call with it.
Yeah.
How simple can it be?
Yeah.
And the strategy of the introduction of the iPod, that is, make it light,
Yeah.
because you can carry it.
Make it beautiful.
Make it bright,
Yeah.
because your music is going from analog to digital.
Yeah.
And make it wide so that
Yeah.
everybody can see that it's an Apple instead of an inferior MP3 player out
Yeah.
of Taiwan, or even worse, China. Make
Yeah.
it bright, make it light, make it wide. That was the whole strategy.
Yeah.
And I tell you this now in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Steve told this to his people
Yeah.
in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And everybody understood where the iPod was all about.
Yeah.
If you have a new Mac, then you have to give it wings. For instance, when we came with the Mac Air, there was an envelope, airmail, and
Yeah.
everybody understood. Hey, that's interesting. It is that light that you can send it with airmail. The Mac Air. How
But
simple is it?
it's also very aesthetic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is the funny thing is, when you have, let's go back to the 3, the 12, and the energy.
Yes.
The funny thing is, if you have the 3 and the 12, so you have the primarily effective reaction and the secondary
Yeah.
effective reaction, and I have the eternity with you.
Yeah.
At that moment, when design
Yeah.
and energy are coming together,
Yeah.
you can be 40 up to 70% more expensive than the nearest competitor.
Yeah.
Because people love design
Yeah.
and energy.
Because it's truth. I think so.
You have to say, hey, mine is more beautiful, and that is why I charge you this.
Yeah.
Because if everything is rational,
Yeah.
everybody would drive around still in a Lada.
Yeah. No, please no. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
because if you have to go from A to B, and we still drive cars from 20,000 euros up to 250,000 euros.
Yeah.
You have to differentiate, and you do that with design and with energy.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest lessons that I always give to all the people is design it a little bit better than your nearest competitor and give more energy. If you do that, your life will be filled with fun and with Gen Zs who adore to work for you.
Are you already writing a new book?
Hey, it's just 2 months. As a matter of fact, and I was really proud, and I will send you that after this call. Is my first book was called Grey to Cool,
Yes, I know. Yeah.
and Grey to Cool is now 14 years old.
Yeah.
And when I was in Stanford, one of the professors came to me. He said, "Do you realize that Grey to Cool is now the student's evergreen?
That's
It's the
so
most it's
wonderful.
the most energetic book to
Yeah.
learn the basics of
Yeah.
servicing people and marketeers."
Yeah.
They didn't know that at management book when I came home. And last Thursday, I received a letter. This book is still bought by a lot of people year in, year out.
Yeah.
And it is now called the Klassieker,
Yeah.
the classical about the fundamental things that you have to understand about marketing. 14 years later.
So you're still a writer?
I'm a talker who also published it in the format of a book.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm a talker.
Do you know Stephen Pressfield?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was also a writer, a copywriter, and I think his book is a wonderful also.
Mabel,
Yeah.
that is also what I learned when I came into this work. You always have to talk in visuals.
Yeah.
For instance, when a long time ago we had a pitch for CNN, the cable news network. Trump hates it,
Yeah.
but when they came for the pitch, they came in and they said, "We want to give all the reasons to people why they have to watch CNN." And you know what the tagline became?
No.
CNN, be the first to know.
Oh yeah, simple and smart.
Be the first to know because we're all conscious
Yeah.
and we're all curious.
Yeah.
So be the first to know. And also, when I came back in the Netherlands, NOS came towards and to me, and they said, "Hey, listen, we have to do something because we see that linear television and radio is on its way down, and online will be the new part, and we have to stay along with all the citizens of the Netherlands." So the payoff became altijd, overal, voor iedereen. NOS.
Yeah.
Altijd, overal, voor iedereen. NOS.
Yeah.
Hey, how simple is that?
Beautiful.
And by the way, they still use altijd, overal, NOS.
Yeah.
25 years later.
Yeah.
If something is good,
Yeah.
don't touch it if it ain't broken.
Yeah. Do you know who wrote that? If you don't fix it. Martin Brill told me always that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to Google it for you.
Yeah, yeah.
It comes from, I believe, Leo Burnett.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah. No. Burnett is when you have to take my name off the door. It is it's Bernbach.
Bernbach. Oh yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But still, and because we don't read the newspaper, we read headings.
Yeah.
So the copywriters, they have wonderful times ahead of us. Wonderful times.
I was a copywriter for several magazines, and I think that was most fun just to.
It is.
Event headline, yeah.
Yeah, and that is what you said about our book. We want, if somebody reads it, it's like a buffet. You read it and you want to know what's in the next. You know that you want to absorb more, and you can walk in here and you can go in there. So it has to be an easy access to the knowledge. And how easier we make the knowledge available towards everybody, the more people will live with it.
I think it was a very light book. Yeah.
It is. But at the same time,
a lot of knowledge.
The in-depth, because if I show you I believe the 72 gig on data, nobody wants to see data. Nobody.
No.
Everybody wants to know what did you do with the data. And if you transform data into easy, accessible knowledge, then you have probably a bestseller.
I think you have.
Yeah, now we are well on our way right now.
Yeah.
The former longing for change made it up to 40,000, 45,000, I believe, right now. And that's quite a lot because normally a book gets 2,000,
Yeah.
3,000 copies. And for a
I
business,
think this is a mainstream book.
it is, it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
it is.
Do you have a message for the future? And how do you see yourself within 3 years?
My message for the future is open up,
Yeah.
train yourself, be adaptive towards what all take place in the nearby future.
Yeah.
That is first. Train yourself to become a part of the future. In 3 years' time, I believe that you and I will have an interview again on the Cook Islands, somewhere in the middle of the ocean near New Zealand, and talking about, can you recall what we discussed 3 years ago? Look at where we are right now.
Yeah.
If you can dream it,
Yeah.
you can really do it.
Yeah.
But first, you have to act now.
Yeah.
So dream, act, and go there.
Yeah.
That is what needs to be done. And if you only dream without acting,
Yeah.
it's a use of time.
Yeah.
You know, I always say in one of the phrases, there are dreamers in this world, but dreaming without acting is just a dream.
Yeah.
What you have to do is act and use your talent. And your talent will bring you wherever you want to go. Your talent will do that for you.
Yeah. I think that's a wonderful closure of the
Wonderful.
conversation. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for your
Thank
book.
you so much and have fun. And
Yeah.
let's tune up and see where we end up. Maybe one of my dreams, I told that to Martin, is standing together on the podium and
That
tell
would be
about
nice. That
the
would be
business
nice.
connection, but also about
Yeah.
people connection.
So how long do we go back?
Wow! Now the last time that we saw was in Rijswijk,
Yeah.
and before that, I think 33 years,
I
35 years,
I
something like that.
I had a job interview at Ogilvy in Mather, and I thought, I don't know what kind of business they do there, but I probably think that would be a very impactful company for my future.
And you were right. You were right.
Yeah. A
So
big kiss.
anyway, see you. Hey, thank you
Sending
for this.
sending you
Bye bye.
love.